All right, let's talk about crypto bear markets because we are in one right now, but I have noticed that a lot of you and a lot of people in general, even influencers, are kind of confused and you have certain beliefs that just do not apply. They're just not true, okay? So what I want to do is I want to talk to you a little bit about crypto bear markets, what to expect, what they're like, and give you some rules to follow, some rules that not many people are talking about. And no, this is not clickbait or sales or, hear me out, you'll see exactly what I mean. Because a lot of people just don't understand the fundamentals of a crypto bear market, okay? Number one, you have to understand, it's not the price drop that's devastating in the crypto bear market. It's not the actual price percentage drop. It's actually the prolonged time at lower levels in ranges or a long range that's the actual issue. Because a lot can go wrong, in this time frame. And this can last 6 months, a year, and so on. And yes, you have these little rallies and so on, but a lot can go wrong in these prolonged ranges. Number one, projects themselves, they can fold, they can go obsolete. Utility can become obsolete because there's no longer needed. There's a whole bunch of stuff that can go wrong. But what's really devastating is your psychology. See, you have to understand when you trade crypto, when you invest in crypto, you're in constant dopamine, okay? Whether the price goes up, whether the price goes down, you have this dopamine like a gambler. When a gambler goes to a casino, he gets a high when he's winning, but also when he's losing. Ever notice how people complain, oh my God, I lost so much. As long as they're winning or losing, it's fine. But then once they lose everything, it's not so much the money they lost at that initial time, because maybe they play with an amount that they don't care about losing. It's the fact that you have this withdrawal symptom of that dopamine. Because suddenly you just stay down at lower lows for a long time and you miss the effect that crypto brings you. Same thing in a casino. You don't have no more money to gamble anymore. You don't have that dopamine. And that's devastating. You can get depressed. You can become suicidal. It's actually quite serious. And that's where a lot of people make stupid moves or give up completely. Now, the good news is that the longer this lasts, the better the breakout. Now, the breakout could be to the upside and the downside, but when I say better the breakout, it's more explosive. Now, you might be saying, Paul, what do you mean? If it's not up and it's down, how can that be good? It's very simple. Number one, if it goes up, obviously it's great because it's an explosive move to the upside. It could be a bear market rally. It could be after the bear market ends, but it's an explosive to the upside, massive profits, yes? If it goes down, it's gonna be explosive as well, which means you're finally gonna get some better entry points, so to speak. So whether it goes up or down, you're gonna get that rush again, but you're also gonna have a play. Bear markets are boring. You get all this good news, by the way, you shouldn't follow news, but you get all this good news and the price just goes down, which just solidifies my point that you should never trade off of news, especially in bear markets. Because it's more profound in bear markets that news just doesn't work. It just doesn't. There's news for the masses and news for the classes. We only get the news for the masses. So if you trade off of news, either you're getting the news they want you to get, the play or the big play has already happened, or you're just too late, right? You've missed the move. The only way you can see the move in time is technical analysis, glitches, certain things in TA that you can actually see. And yes, it's hard, but it's possible and it's easier than just following the news. Well, ask yourself this, how many times have you traded off the news and completely got wrecked? Or the price does the complete opposite. Oh my God, there's war, we're gonna go down. Bitcoin went up. FOMC meaning this, Bitcoin went down. Come on, dude. Don't trade off of news. There's news for the masses, news for the classes. We only get the news for the masses. Show me the charts, I'll tell you the news, right? So, another thing you have to understand when it comes to crypto bear markets, and by the way, real quick, I'm fishing. As you can see, I have my fishing rods. So if I get a bite, I'm just gonna throw the camera and just run. I might not throw it because it's an iPhone 17 Pro, but you know what I mean. Just keep that in mind, okay? Because I really don't want to edit this video much. But anyway, the other thing you need to understand that in bear markets especially, you don't want to keep on buying the dip. You generally don't want to keep buying the dip. It's the stupidest advice I've ever heard. Especially when it comes to bear markets, it's more profound. Let me explain. When you trade crypto, or when you invest in crypto, you have to think of it like a business. So when you have a business, let's say you had a shop, and you were selling red dresses, green dresses, and yellow dresses. Okay, red dress, green dress, yellow dress. And your distributor comes and says, hey, guess what? I have a discount 20% off of yellow dresses. You're like, awesome. So you buy these yellow dresses. A couple of months go by. Hey, he comes back again. I have another discount for 30% this time, yellow dresses. So you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna buy the dip, right? So you buy these yellow dresses. What are you gonna do? Keep on buying these yellow dresses until you have a store full of yellow dresses that nobody wants? What if the narrative never comes? What if nobody ever wants those yellow dresses? And not only that, you have your money locked in there. Now you don't have money to buy red dresses, which everybody wants, and you're definitely not diversified, so you can't sell. You're just shooting yourself in the foot. So you have to think of it like a business. You don't want to keep on buying the dip. You buy it maybe once, twice, that's it. Then wait for the price to come above your last buying point, make that support, then maybe consider buying if it comes back in trend or there's demand. Does that make sense? You don't want to keep on buying the dip and to pour them, okay? It's oblivion. It just does not make financial sense. Talking about that, talking about buying the dip, you don't want to buy in a bear market. Now you may say, Paul, what are you talking about? The best time to buy is in the bear market. No, it's not. The best time to buy is as you're coming out of a bear market. Because if you think about it, bear markets can be long, brutal, and take a lot of time, maybe 6 months, a year. But if you buy in a bear market, you don't know what the trend is, what the narratives are, nothing. You're just buying, locking up your capital, and things can go wrong in bear markets. If companies can fold, utility can become obsolete. You can have the best utility in the world, doesn't matter. Things can go wrong. A lot of companies fold. You don't want to buy in a bear market. You want to buy as you're coming out of a bear market. That way you can see the trend, see the narrative, see which coins keep on building, and so on. Does that make sense? And there's so much more, there's so much bad advice I hear out there when it comes to bear markets. Let me give you some more advice here. So, first of all, cash is a position in bear markets. As a matter of fact, it's a superpower. But cash is a position in bear markets. Why? I know you hear all these, I don't know, famous people, influencers, whatever you want to call them, that say, don't hold cash, it just loses value, blah, 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 blue, blue, blue. Yeah. But that's not the reality. First of all, you need cash to survive. And yes, it can go down in value, but bear markets, they can last a year and it's brutally to the downside. So inflation doesn't really outchase it. But also, you want to have cash so you can buy as you're coming out of a bear market. Or even set yourself up within a bear market if you know what you're doing with future narratives you see coming into play, and you can always switch as you're coming out of a bear market as well. But you want to have cash. Cash is a position. Does that make sense? So you're holding cash, you're buying as you're coming out of a bear market so you can see what's powerful, what the narratives are, and so on. And I know a lot of you in the comments are going to be, oh my God, Paul, you're going to miss the move, it's going to go up the upside. You're not going to miss the move. It goes up, it'll come back down, it'll make support, that's where you buy. But even if you miss the move, it doesn't matter. You look for lagging plays, okay? You look for lagging plays. Then in bear markets, you want to be specifically careful of coins that need hype to go up. Stay away from hype coins, okay? If a coin needs hype to survive, it probably won't. It just will probably die. And even if it goes up and you say, oh my God, look, I missed the pump. If I got into this coin, I would have got so much money. No, it's probably low liquidity. And once it went up, somebody will sell. If you try to sell, it's going to go down. It doesn't work that way. It's not that easy. Yes, there are outliers, but it's like playing the casino. It's literally like playing the casino. You don't want to do that. You want to get into Bitcoin first, good projects second, like powerful projects, maybe your Solanas, maybe your ETH. And then you want to stay away from shit coins, stay away from hype coins, stay away from anything that needs hype to survive. Because it probably won't, okay? And basically, you have to understand that bear markets are an opportunity. Because the longer we are in the bear market, the more explosive the move it will be, just like I said earlier on. By the way, comment down below. Do you have any bear market advice? Comment down below what advice you heard that are great, that you believe is good in a bear market, and I'll answer in the comments if I think it's yes, if it's good advice, or no, if it isn't good advice, okay? Just comment down below. I'm really curious to see, because I hear a lot of crap out there, a lot of crap out there when it comes to crypto bear markets. Anyway, we're in 2026. We are now in April. I said we're gonna have a bear market rally in April. It looks like we haven't yet. I mean, we might get one, but I do believe we're gonna, I said, that was a bit of a lie. I said we're gonna get a bear market rally in the first quarter. And it's now April, so we might be missing that mark. But generally speaking, we do have bear market rallies, and they can go 30, even 50% up. But generally speaking, I do believe we're gonna be in a bear market this year. I do believe we're gonna see a bottom around the summertime, maybe a little bit before, maybe a little bit after. And then I do believe 2027 is gonna be more bullish, and it's gonna start going up slowly, but people are gonna call the bottom again in hindsight. So I called the bottom in 2022, 15.6K, 2 months before it even got there. And I even said, won a bet with Gareth Soloway, and even said that people are gonna start saying and calling the bottom in hindsight in the beginning 2023. That's what happened. I'm seeing some fish. So I'm going to close this stream. I'm gonna grab my spinning rod, and I'm gonna try and chase those fish. Probably catch shit all. But that's what I'm gonna do. Thank you very much. Subscribe down below, hit the like button, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, bye-bye.